NLU background definitely helps a lot. But I kind of felt that I really wanted a kind of a mentor that kind of could help me, with regards to examination strategy per se. So therefore, I also wanted to look for resources that could, help me prepare, at least complement my preparation, help me prepare faster.
Would you say what kind of a speed and accuracy had you reached, and how much risk would you take in any exam? Because there's always negative marking. So how do you balance that risk in the actual exam?
Divide my day, preparing for different, again, like at least 2 to 3 hours for mathematics, 2 hours maybe for English, 1 hour for, revising Wikipedia, and 1 to 2 hours for solving puzzles, especially in logical reasoning. So I kind of divided my day, up at taking an individual course, and I felt of going for the mega legal B course. And at that point of time, I think it was my best decision because it gave me an access to a lot of courses, a lot of examination, preparation, as well as on one mentoring sessions as well. So I think
The fact that you have a strong foundation. Second, the fact that anybody would like to study from the bare acts. We also advise many times at various places that get your concepts right from the bare acts itself. What was the utility to take a course at all?
I mean, definitely it's a true fact that, as they say, that bare acts is the Bible when it comes to
Yeah.
clearing these examinations. But again, in particular, I do not remember any other institute or any other course that actually provides you with feedback on what and on, on with respect to your answers and, the suggestions. So I mean, that is something that is missing from a lot of other courses if you actually see. And I've seen iExam is the only institute which actually provides you a detailed feedback along with scores and everything, and also
Actual interview, apart from the mocks that you gave at iExam, how else were you preparing for an interview?
so again, the very basic questions regarding, for instance, like telling us something about yourself. So you definitely have, I mean, each and every one of us has a lot to kind of say, but at the same time,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to iExam. I'm very happy to have with me today Mr. Pranav Waikar, who has cleared not just one but two exams this year. He cleared the IBPS SO Law Officer exam and also SJVN Law Officer exam in 2025. Many congratulations, Pranav.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pranav, for taking out time to talk to us also today. I think your story will be very inspiring for so many aspirants who are looking to make a career as a law officer. And this is going to be a great, long, candid conversation about preparation, preparing for various exams at the same time, and how you manage time and balance it. So, Pranav, I'll not take more time. If you can quickly introduce yourself, please.
Sure, ma'am. So, I'm basically, I was born and brought up in Bhopal and have completed my basic schooling from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh itself. Uh, After that, I have completed my graduation from National Law University, Delhi, and I graduated in the year 2023. I also worked in a tier one law firm in Bombay. And in the year 2025, I decided that I really want to dedicate myself completely to preparing for government law officer exams. Therefore, I left my job. I came back to my hometown and started preparing for that. And again, thanks to iExamB and my parents' blessings and all. So I'm sitting here.
Thank you, Pranav. So, Pranav, my first question to you is, and it's been a long journey with you and iExamB. So, how did you think of preparing for these exams? You also have a work experience, as you stated. So, what motivated you to decide that I will give these exams?
I was always very inclined towards preparing for government law officers exam. My father has a background in government service, so I think that is something that kind of kept me motivating and as well as inclined as well. So I always had this thing that I really wanted to give this exam. Again, like despite securing a campus placement, I always had that thing in my mind that I really want to give one chance at least and see if it works for me. So after having an experience of a private, working in a
Mhm.
private setting, therefore I decided that I want to try working in a government environment as well.
Okay, great, Pranav. So, Pranav, what were the exams then you targeted?
So, ma'am, initially my target was a bit limited to regulatory body examinations. For example, SEBI 2024. I was preparing for that. Then IFSCA, PFRDA. So exams like these I was based initially targeting, but then I decided to kind of broaden my scope and appear for like various other competitive examinations as well. Like you have your Coal India, you have your SJVN, and other examinations as well.
Okay, okay. So, then once you narrowed down a few of the exams, like you said, you started with SEBI Legal, IFSCA, PFRDA, and broadened it further to include IBPS, PSU exams like Coal India, SJVN, and today you've cleared IBPS and SJVN. So, when you decided to give these exams, how did you think of the preparation, especially from given the fact that you come from an NLU, which already gives you a strong foundation in your subject?
So, ma'am, again, definitely NLU background definitely helps a lot. But I kind of felt that I really wanted a kind of a mentor that kind of could help me, with regards to examination strategy per se. So therefore, I also wanted to look for resources that could, help me prepare, at least complement my preparation, help me prepare faster as I can, if I can put it in words. So therefore, I started looking for courses, uh, if something could help me in regards to that. And I was fortunate enough to come across iExamB, and I had taken your SEBI 2020 SEBI course. Especially, I wanted your strategy and guidance for phase two preparation. So that was the first time that I came across iExamB. And again, like after going through notes and all the resources, your summary sheets, MCQ booklets, I found the material extremely valuable and extremely good, if I can put it like that. So therefore, after taking an individual course, then I felt of going for the mega legal B course. And at that point of time, I think it was my best decision because it gave me an access to a lot of courses, a lot of examination, preparation, as well as on one mentoring sessions as well. So I believe it was my best decision that I took.
Thank you, Pranav, for talking about Megabee actually. So, yes, we do offer individual courses for individual exams that you may be targeting, but if you are looking to target various opportunities for legal officers in the PSU space, in the banking and financial space, then the Megabee course, that's the intention, because many times you're not just giving one exam, but looking for after various opportunities. So Pranav, because you've used Megabee and you said that when you decided to widen your horizon and not just limit yourself to SEBI Legal and IFSC exam, that's when you went for Megabee. Pranav, if I talk about the fact that, many times we also say that, we should be targeting and focusing on maybe a few things rather than going after. So, did Megabee course where, you are kind of provided content for various legal opportunities, contradict with that thought you felt at any time?
Again, beg to differ a bit here. I think the Mega Legal B program definitely provides us, access to a lot of content. But again, I mean, the differences between various examinations, if we actually see, it's only about the pattern. Somewhere you might have more questions, somewhere you might have less questions, but the content, if you actually see, your core subjects remain the same. You have constitution almost coming in each and every kind of such examination. So the basic laws that we actually have, your constitution, CPC, BNS, BNSS, so these are something that you have in all kind of examinations. Again, what might differ might be the number of questions, maybe time limit, sectional time limit, or something on those lines, which is something I believe is manageable if you complement it along with practicing mock tests. So I believe mega legal b kind of helped me out, because again, I did not had to go for looking for individual resources. If you say, for example, SJVN had tenancy laws with regards to Himachal Pradesh as well. So, since I was part of that course, I was able to access the summary sheets for the tenancy law as well. So that was something that really kind of helped me, and it was like very peculiar to this examination only. So therefore, for me, Mega Legal B was the one that I felt that yeah, I took a right decision in selecting that course.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Pranav. So let's get into a little more detail about preparation and different exams in general, right? So all these
Sure.
exams, we'll take up the legal discussion a little later. But if I start from the
Sure.
beginning, a lot of these exams, in fact, all of these exams, except barring a few, maybe Coal India, for example, uh, do have in varying proportions testing you on your aptitude subjects, which include quantitative aptitude in some exams, reasoning, English language, and general awareness or financial awareness. Again, this can be a combination. Different exams may have varying proportions of these subjects. Some exams may also ask computer awareness, and some may also ask descriptive English, right? So these also keep varying, but these are also asked in addition to your legal knowledge. And mostly, whichever exams are asking so would ask you before your legal knowledge all this. Uh,
Right.
what was your approach in terms of and preparation for these, if at all you needed preparation? How did you go about tackling these subjects?
For these papers specifically, I believe mock tests are the key. So again, being having access to the Mega Legal B course, it also kind of provided me access to all these papers as well, and the mock tests that were basically included in each and every of these tests as well. So I was kind of relaxed on that part, that I do have at least mock tests, which basically form the main component when it comes to your preparation. Apart from that, I can also kind of benefited from, instance, I also attended Anjali ma'am's English classes and English lectures as well. So those, the question based approach was something that I found it very helpful. And also her having a lot of experience, tackling various competitive examinations. So that also kind of helped me, in anticipating what sort of questions can we usually expect, what is the correct strategy in solving those questions, is something again that I felt very helpful. I also then for my current affairs, I also refer to the BPDA as well.
Okay.
The BPDA magazine, it also kind of helped me a lot. And again, mock test for reasoning and mathematics, again, I kind of relied entirely on the mock tests which were provided by the exam B.
Okay. So how much were you practicing? You said like you were doing mock tests. Uh, so on a maybe daily or if not daily, on a weekly basis, how much time were you devoting to the practice?
Again, since I was completely focusing on like preparing for this government law examination, so I had a entire day with me. So I used to divide my day, preparing for different again, like at least 2 to 3 hours for mathematics, 2 hours maybe for English, 1 hour for revising BPDA, and 1 to 2 hours for solving puzzles, especially in logical reasoning. So I kind of divided my day, apparent, according to that. During Sundays, I used to just revise whatever I had, kind of, if there is some kind of puzzle that I was stuck,
Mhm.
while I was solving. So I used to, go back. I used to again see, where I went wrong. I used to again revise whatever I have learned throughout the week. And then I also kind of, again, the pre-recorded lectures as were provided in the iExam course. So I also kind of went through them, tried to, solve the questions that were basically provided after each and every lecture. So again, if I had any doubts, I used to jot them down and ask the faculties as well. So that was basically my day.
Okay, great, great. Like for reasoning, you mentioned puzzles. Yes, usually, majority of the exams would have one or two puzzles being asked, and it is one of the most recommended topics also in reasoning. But apart from that, also there are so many more topics that are there, right?
Right,
There can
right.
seating
You
arrangement
have,
related,
yeah,
blood
Venn
relations
diagrams,
related, Venn
blood
diagrams and
relations.
logs and all can also be there. So were you perfecting each of them, each of the topics broken down also?
Yes, ma'am. I was kind of focusing on like these individual topics as well. Again, my focus was on puzzles also, because puzzles usually form an important and a
Yeah.
main role when it comes to logical reasoning portion. But at the same time, you also need a good grasp on topics such as syllogisms,
Mm-hmm.
because these are the topics where you can easily secure your marks.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely, it helps boost your score as well. So again, I was kind of focusing individually as well, and kind of solving puzzles in between, because puzzles is something that you do not require any pre-knowledge per se. You just need practice for that.
So very rightly said when you said you need practice. So usually we say that all these aptitude subjects, there's a combination of two things that are needed. One is accuracy and the other is speed. And that's where what practice ensures that you get speed also over time. What
So, like, having given the CLAT and ALIT examinations way back in 2018. So, one of the things that I kind of learned from my experience was that you need to be very careful about negative marking,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to subjects like GK, where you have options very close, and it might happen sometimes that you might be tempted to kind of mark an answer that yeah, this might be something that you might be willing to take a risk. But again, like, taking this again comes with its own advantages and disadvantages. So again, like, how would you, I mean, strategically and smartly, like, even if you are like using guesswork, how would you make sure that at least the chances of your answer being correct, how can you increase the chance, is something that definitely would be something that you need that we need to keep in mind. So I mean, but again, apart from that, once you practice as well, you also get an idea,
Mhm.
regarding different things that you can actually use, different techniques, maybe estimation, especially in mathematics. You might, instead of solving the entire simplification question, you might use the digit approach, or you might
Mhm.
actually have a little bit of a guesswork to arrive at an answer. So I mean, definitely that definitely comes when you kind of practice and you
Yeah.
actually solve a lot of questions.
I agree, right? Because once you practice to such an extent, you start seeing patterns in question
Exactly.
and which approach to go after, which kind of a question to spend time on, and which one to leave it, not because you can't solve it, but maybe because it's not the best return on your time that you would invest in
Exactly.
a particular question. So I think that's also a skill set that has to be developed in addition to just your knowledge base and your content base. So great. You had touched upon GK, so that tempts me to talk a little further about general awareness because that's another
Sure.
area. Usually, I see legal students, one get more scared about quant, and a lot of exams has less weightage. IBPS doesn't even have quant, so many students even like that a lot. But after quant, if I say the other area which I have heard the most students getting scared about is the general awareness part. Uh, so again, like you said, you relied on Wikipedia. for that aspect. The most problematic area is how many months to
Yeah.
after. And second is how do we memorize? There's so much. There's no end to the general awareness that can be there. It can be anything under the sun. So, how do you memorize it? So, what were your strategies to tackle general awareness?
Again, my basic strategy was to kind of actually go through, like do that monthly BPDA on a weekly basis. I used to like divide we had like 4 weeks. So I used to, like prepare make prepare week wise. So that kind of, again, it lessens your burden as well. And, it again sort of gives you the chance to kind of take notes as well. I kind of followed a chart method as well, that
Mhm.
the most important things that I need to remember is something, I used to kind of scribble it down on a piece of paper. I used to make a bit of chart regarding it. So I mean, again, like that was something I that while again like going through each of these, I kind of figured, yeah, that this might be something that might be suitable for me. So I kind of developed it here, and then I felt, yeah, this is something that is working for me. So I used to follow the chart methods as well. So yeah, I mean, again, using like hit and trial methods and combinations, I kind of figured it out what works best for me.
Okay. And was it a particular time frame that you were looking at, or on a regular basis you just kept covering general awareness?
So again, like again in law school as well, we always had this kind of a habit of going to the library and at least skimming through the newspaper, as to what events made the headlines today. So again, like newspapers is something, and also I had a good interest when it comes to general awareness and current affairs and what is happening all around the world. Again, listening to news also is something that I usually like, when having my meals and something. So again, so GK was, a part that I felt that, this is something, an area of my interest. So, I mean, it never felt a burden for me, that, I have to now sit and, bog down through all
Mm-hmm.
these PDFs and kind of, just read out and then start memorizing, okay, this is what happened and so on and so forth. So, I mean, it came naturally to me.
Okay, now, that's a wonderful point. Yes, if you are in generally, and are touch with the world around you, and I think that's the purpose of general awareness being asked in the aptitude subjects, that one should be aware about their surroundings in general, right? So a very well thing said that you didn't take it as a burden, because the moment you start feeling you have to now remember and memorize so many things, I think half the battle is lost.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely huge. I will not say it is less. It's a huge uh, content that you will have to memorize. And the moment you start thinking like that, that's where half the motivation goes. So, having a genuine interest has to be developed. And if you're starting today, don't think that the exam is 1 year ahead. Why should I read today's news? It is about generally developing an understanding of the world around you and how it is functioning and what is important happening around you. So I think that can definitely help a long way. And yes, the hard work of then revising, going through it, practicing questions helps with the memory and the recall further. Uh, okay, so we done with prelims or phase one or paper one, as it is called in different exams. Now coming to the legal paper, your core paper, professional knowledge, it's called in many exams. In some papers, it's just called paper two, where you are being tested on legal. Um, I'll come back to my question, which you kind of answered, that yes, there is a foundation, strong foundation that you already had in your legal subjects, and there is a lot of common laws also. But would you say what kind of a speed and accuracy had you reached, and how much risk would you take in any exam? Because there's always negative marking. So, how do you balance that risk in the actual exam? The fact that you have a strong foundation. Second, the fact that anybody would like to study from the bare acts, we also advise many times at various places that, get your concepts right from the bare acts itself. What was the utility to take a course at all?
I mean, definitely, it's a true fact that, as they say that Bear Acts is the Bible when it comes to
Yeah.
clearing these examinations. But again, my logic behind, opting for a course was basically, having first of all a mentor's guidance.
Okay.
I really wanted a guidance from someone who has actually appeared in these examinations and actually cracked them. And I really wanted to consult with them, talk about understand their strategy as to clear the examinations. Definitely, there is no denying the fact that bare acts is the key, and and that is what basically teachers also kind of recommend. But at the same time, you also need a mentor to kind of guide you, because at the end of the day it's an examination, and every examination has a kind of strategy that you require to kind of to in order to crack it. Again, examination is not only your test of knowledge, but it is also your test regarding, your strategy, which questions you might and you need to skip, and which questions you need to attend, because at the end of the day, each question carries only a single mark. So you
Mhm.
also need to kind of strategize and be clever with what kind of questions that you want to go for, and what kind of questions you might feel that, again, that, given the weightage of different laws that you have in your particular examination, that you might want to just skip and skim through. So again, for that purposes, I think taking a course is something that I would at least recommend, because you get the guidance from a mentor. You also kind of have get an understanding regarding what is the current trend of questions that are being asked in examination these days. For instance, if we actually see that now RTI Act is being continuously asked as compared to, say, a limitation act. So
Mhm.
again, so if you are actually in touch with a mentor who actually kind of teaches and who is in constant touch with all these examinations, so these small insights is something that you get out of it. And so I mean, that is really kind of helpful, when it comes to boiling down as to which acts do you want to go for and prepare them.
Okay. Okay. In the beginning, you had mentioned at one place, there are a lot of common laws, like say Constitution or your contract laws, like Indian
Yes.
Contract Act, your Partnership Act, your Sales of Good Act. These are very common. Then even your civil and criminal laws. Mostly every exam will be asking you about these, right? And then there are different laws. A typical exam can quiz you. Some will give a syllabus, some will not give you a syllabus. And they can typically quiz you from anywhere from maybe 20, 25 laws to something which may even go up to 50 laws in some exams, like IBPS, for that example, for that matter. Then how do you go beyond the common laws, especially in exams like IBPS, which does not give out a stated syllabus per se?
For IBPS examination in particular, again, I also kind of face the same dilemma and question regarding, which laws to kind of prepare. Because if we actually analyze the previous year questions, so we see a lot of laws being asked, and even if you try to kind of jot them down and try, and if you decide to go for each and every law, it's practically not possible. So that was again one of the questions that even I also encountered. But I was lucky enough that I had that I exam me had actually put a video regarding preparation, especially for IBPS SO, on your YouTube channel. So I kind of went through that video, where I believe Indira ma'am kind of took that session. And I love the fact that she divided all these laws into three different categories. Laws that are being constantly asked in your examination: your core laws, your constitution, your CPC, Contract Act, Limitation Act, your RTI, BNS, BNSS, BSA, which basically are asked in each almost each and every law examination. So you have one category. The second category are those laws, which might have, been asked maybe once or twice in recent years. Then comes the category that, those laws which have basically gained importance in maybe say last 2 3 years, if there's any law, your core banking laws, for
Yeah.
instance. Again, apart from core laws, your constitution and also banking laws also play a very important role when it comes to
Yeah.
IBPS examinations as well. So I mean, dividing the and all these laws into different categories and then kind of strategizing and preparing is something that kind of helped me, and I would also kind of recommend it for anybody who wants to crack it.
So, Pranav, you talked about dilemmas. There's another dilemma that can come to any aspirant, right? So, when you look at past year papers, right, well, we do analyze these and tell, where the weightage is more, so where you should be. It's like, when the iron is hot, hit it hard that time. So, we know where to hit hard. But then there are so many laws that may be asked, maybe one question came in one particular year, and maybe another act that got asked. So if I take example for IBPS itself, there was a year when they asked about Hindu Succession Act. This year they asked a question on Benami transactions. Uh, and income tax, which they had never asked before. So there's always this dilemma, that something new may be asked. And now, when you're preparing for next year, there's a high tendency that I will try to cover this act that got asked. And there's always this urge to do and go after. So, how do you tackle that dilemma where, one sense is telling you, okay, common laws are important, but then there's something in your mind and in your heart that is pulling you towards a new act that was asked last year. So, how does one deal with that kind of thing?
Again, like, to be honest, in this sense, I mean, since I was kind of being enrolled in the Mega Legal B program and kind of preparing for various diverse kind of law officer examinations. So somewhere or the other, I felt that different, since different laws were being asked in each and every different examinations. you know uh, Particularly when it came to IBPS, so it felt to me that I had covered almost the entire category of these acts. So I mean, again, so this was not something, a problem that I kind of felt. But
Mhm.
yeah, I can totally understand. Definitely, you always have this kind of fear, and you also have this thing that you might also want to go for those laws which might have been asked once in maybe 3 years or 4 years. But again, uh, definitely, before, if even if you want to do that thing, I would definitely recommend that you actually make sure that you have a strong foundation with respect to your core laws, which have been constantly being asked, especially your banking laws, your, again, core subjects, constitutions, and so on and so forth. So once you're kind of perfect with them, or even if you have like mastered them, then definitely, if time permits, you can actually devote time to these laws as well. And in that regards, I believe the summary sheets that iExamB actually provides are kind of very helpful, because they list out the section numbers as well, that that are very important, that that might be asked. So you actually get a list of sections that you need to that might have to memorize, as opposed to, say, going through the entire bare act and still being clueless as to which section numbers to kind of learn, or which one to do and which one to skip. So I mean, definitely these complements also the MCQ booklets, which also gives you an idea regarding what sort of questions predominantly can be expected from a particular act. What might be the questions, which might be sparingly asked, or something on those lines. So definitely.
So, if I can repeat for the benefit of the listeners over here, the first approach should be strengthen your core and the common laws. And once you've done that, once you're confident, even if you're not 100% confident, ensure you're giving majority of your time there. And then, depending on the time available, you can sparingly go through the remaining acts in a more focused manner, rather than maybe each line from the Ware Act accordingly. So that's where the strategy comes into place. in addition to
Yes.
work. So no strategy can function without the hard work and the execution behind it. So
Yes.
I think, thanks, Pranav. Pranav, I'll touch upon another area to the preparation, both for legal and otherwise for English, and that's in the descriptive. So many exams, like SEBI, and also has a descriptive part. There are few exams that have introduced descriptive. RBI Legal does descriptive paper. LIC did descriptive paper this year. SEBI has a percentage, 30% of its legal paper is descriptive in nature. So when you're preparing a particular law or for your legal subject, what's the difference of preparing it from a objective point of view and from a descriptive point of view?
Again, with respect to descriptive English, if you're concerned, definitely practice plays a very important role. The simulation, the actual exam simulation is something that definitely kind of plays a role. And in this regards, I definitely want to give a lot of credit to iExamB because, being a part of, because having taken the SEBI examination of SEBI course as well, for phase two in particular, I do not remember any other institute or any other course that actually provides you with feedback on what and on on with respect to your answers and the suggestions. So I mean that is something that is missing from a lot of other courses if you actually see. And I've seen iExam is the only institute which actually provides you a detailed feedback along with scores and everything, and also tips on how could you actually improve the answer that you have actually typed and submitted. So I mean this is unparalleled, and it is really very helpful. So I mean, again, like kudos and hats off to the team for putting in all the efforts. But definitely, whatever suggestions that Anjali ma'am and sir kind of gave in when they checked our answer sheets. So I mean, they are unparalleled and like really, really helpful and valuable.
Thank you, Pranav. Again, I'll definitely pass this on to Anjali ma'am. And yes, as you said, Anjali ma'am and Dr. Sharma put in a lot of effort for descriptive English with the idea of not that you don't know English or you're not able to write, but being able to identify the areas where improvement can be done. Becomes important. So, thank you, Pranav, for stating that. And if I can touch upon the legal descriptive part also, how does legal descriptive preparation for you differed? Say, for example, if I have to write an answer on constitution, so I've studied constitution, but then there is the objective questions, maybe which I can do, and I have practiced with the MCQ booklet, but then there could be a descriptive question also. So, is there a different approach when you are studying for objective and descriptive part?
Again, again, if we're here, I would definitely like to thank Indira ma'am. Again, ma'am kind of gave us a like proper strategy as to how should one kind of attend the descriptive questions. Because again, descriptive questions, if we actually see, they are usually kind of broad in nature.
Mhm.
So some might be also situation based questions as well. So then you need to follow a particular method. If you say that you need to state out what law is being actually being used, how if you apply that law, what would be the outcome. Any case law, if if there is already a precedent, a Supreme Court case, or a tribunal case, something on those lines, that then if you actually add those, then you again get those brownie points as well. So definitely there is always a structure when it comes to answering a descriptive question. And again, apart from your content, it also matters how well you have kind of like structured your answer, how
Yeah.
lucid it is. So definitely, and also the fact that have you answered each and every part of the question that has been particularly asked. So Indira ma'am kind of also like explained us a like wonderful strategy as to how to answer each and every part. How do you make sure that you kind of maximize your marks? So again, like that was something that that is very helpful, and I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, thank you, Pranav. Pranav, let's move to the last stage of any selection process. That's the interview. So, interview would vary from 15 to 20% in any exam. It plays a crucial role. Um, how do you prepare for an interview?
Also for interview preparation as well, being a part of the mega legal B course. I mean, again, interview guidance also came came included in the course as well. So definitely I took a lot, it was really very helpful for me. Then I also kind of appeared in 2 3 mock interviews that were basically conducted by ma'am you as well, and Indira ma'am as well. So there they kind of put in a lot of questions, both technical as well as HR questions that are usually expected in your interview round. And also, like, what are the possible areas, or what are the possible points that can be kind of said, or if there's something that needs to be tweaked, or how well can you then express yourself, and small points regarding that. So those also came in very handy regarding that. So again,
So, did you practice a lot for your before your?
time you have a limited time, so definitely structuring the most important things that you want to highlight about yourself definitely kind of helps. Having a brief idea as to what points you want to touch, or what achievements you might want to highlight. So definitely having a brief outline regarding whatever you want to say definitely kinds of help. Apart from that, technical knowledge is something definitely, I mean, from my mock interviews also, I kind of got an idea regarding what technical questions can be expected from my profile. Apart from that, in general, apart from that, even the current affairs part,
Mhm.
what is happening around the world. So that is also something that often features in interview. For instance, I definitely in my SJVN interview, I was asked regarding the Shanti Act, Shanti
Mhm.
Bill, which basically became an act right now regarding the
Mhm.
nuclear energy. So definitely, since I was again being aware, and that was basically a question that also ma'am had kind of put me in the mock interview as well. So I was definitely kind of prepared for those kind of questions.
Great. So, how did your actual interviews go, Pranav, at both IBPS and as SJVN?
Again, I mean, those were a bit, I mean, one was my interview at IBPS SO, so I was basically the last candidate to go, for my batch. And it was just before their lunch time when I had entered. Mine was a bit of a short interview for like 10 to 15 minutes. They
Mhm.
had asked me, questions regarding, me, my background, my educational qualifications, some technical questions regarding banking,
Mhm.
banker customer relations is something that I remember they are kind of asked me, what are the different banker customer relations that you can have.
Mhm.
Then general questions as well. So I mean, it was more of a kind of a conversation base. So I enjoyed it as well. And I feel they kind of enjoyed it as well. So definitely that kind of helped me a lot. But yeah, definitely it was a really good experience. With regards to SJVN, if I may say, it was a bit of a lengthy interview. My interview kind of extended to around 40 minutes. There were a lot of cross questionings on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I also kind of figured it out that it might be because of the fact that I might have scored the highest when it came to the examination. So that is why I might have to had to face a lot of questions and cross questionings. They kind of asked me wide range of questions, from as to regarding the current developments, to a lot of general questions, and even some questions that for instance, have you heard about Timbuktu? Have you heard about that place? Do you know where
Okay.
it is? Some questions, some comments regarding the current developments. Maybe what do you think the United States thinks about our Shanti Act? Do you think they are
Mhm.
happy about it? Something on those lines. So again, they were kind of checking my technical knowledge as well, and also my presence of mind as well. You
Right.
know, Also the fact that if you put a candidate in a spotlight, is he able to kind of answer the questions? So I believe it was a comprehensive interview. Definitely, I enjoyed it as well.
Great. I think a few good points that you brought out is like it has to be a conversation, to be honest, and it totally depends on you whether you are able to make it a conversation or not. Because if it's a conversation, both the parties will enjoy it, and I'm sure they will able to gauge you not just on your technical abilities, but also your personality, which is why they are doing the interview. Because if they had to check the technical ability, they have already done that in the written exam, to be honest.
Exactly.
So that's a great thing. And 40 minutes is a long time to have the conversation. Um, and I'm sure there must have been times when you did not know the answer. So, how did you maintain your calm in that time?
Again, I definitely do get the point, and this was something that even when I was giving my mock interview, see, even I asked Indira ma'am at that point of time as well, ma'am, what do you think? Is my technical knowledge, up to date? Is it good? So she kind of assured me that, it's completely okay, and you have a good technical and a sound knowledge, so you need not worry about it. You just need to have confidence, and that is something that you need to have. And also, she kind of, told me this fact that, definitely we kind of hear it again and again that again in an interview it is not expected that you know each and every question, and it is not practically possible as well that you are aware about each and every question, and across different laws and across here, and it's completely fine about it. The only thing is that if in case you actually do not know the answer to the question, the best way is to kind of apologize for that, and actually, like, tell them politely that I'm sorry, sir, I'm unable to recall it at this moment, or I'm sorry, sir, I do not know about this, but I would definitely read it up. So it also kind of saves their time as well, and also actually shows that you're not being dishonest.
Yeah, no, very,
So
very, very valid point because, as you rightly said, and that's what we keep telling, it's not an MCQ where you have to be right will give you marks, wrong will deduct your marks, and not answering will give you a zero. It's not like that. And when students think like that, what they do is they end up bluffing. So that's not required actually, except acknowledge and move on. It saves your time,
right,
it saves their time, and they are able to then quiz you on something that you may be actually knowing. And if you end up bluffing, you getting caught and you don't even get a chance to answer something which you may actually know. So
right,
that's a very, very important aspect of interview, in addition to being technically updated, presence of mind, your personality, your communication, not just through the words. When I'm saying communication, it's not about कि आप इंग्लिश कितनी अच्छी बोल रहे हैं या आप हिंदी कितनी अच्छी बोल रहे हैं. It is about how articulate you are, how to the point you are, and how nicely you can present your thoughts uh, in that moment. That's
right,
what, and it comes from your body language, not just your spoken words also. So I think that's great insights, Pranav, you have given. I hope this will provide encouragement and motivation and the right direction to a lot of future aspirants for various exams that they are targeting for 2026. Um, from our side, wishing you all the best for a very,
thank you
very
so much.
successful career as a legal
Thank you.
officer. And thanks again, once again.
Thank you so much.
Your actual interview, apart from the mocks that you gave at iExamB, how else were you preparing for an interview?
So again, the very basic questions regarding, for instance, like telling us something about yourself. So you definitely have, I mean, each and every one of us has a lot to kind of say, but at the same